Dear students, welcome to our social science class. Today I am taking French Revolution from lesson 1. The revolutions that influenced the world. And in this lesson or in this topic we can discuss about the causes for the French Revolution, the causes of the revolution and its effects. And in the last class we discussed about American War of Independence, and in that revolution we discussed various causes. In the same way, here in this lesson also we can discuss various causes for French Revolution.
Now, it's time to continue the American War of Independence. Last class we discussed up to the role of philosophers like John Locke and Thomas Paine in stimulating the American War of Independence. Today, we can start with the entire continent assembles. The delegates of all the colonies except Virginia met at Philadelphia in 1774. They met at Philadelphia for what purpose? To protest against the policies and rules imposed by England. Last class we discussed about the policies implemented by the British in America. These policies were known as mercantilism. And the mercantilist laws were against the American colonies. So they wanted to protest against these policies. This meeting was known as the First Continental Congress. And then the people of colonies submitted a petition to the King of England. After the First Continental Congress, people prepared a petition and they submitted this petition to the King of England. In this petition, they demanded the revocation of the regulations enforced on industry and commerce and not to impose tax without the approval of the people. But the English king sent a military force to suppress the people. This led to a war between England and continental colonies. And this war was happened in the year 1775. And later in the next year, that means after that in 1774, First Continental Congress happened. And in the next year, in 1775, they met. The delegates from the colonies met at Philadelphia, and this incident was known as the Second Continental Congress. It was also held at Philadelphia in the year 1775. And this meeting elected George Washington as the Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. And during this time, through a pamphlet titled Common Sense, Thomas Paine declared that it was wise for the Americans to break the ties with Britain. The pamphlet written by Thomas Paine. We already studied about Thomas Paine. He was one of the philosophers during that period. He prepared a pamphlet. That pamphlet's title was Common Sense. And in this pamphlet, he declared that it was wise for the Americans to break ties with Britain. And the American Continental Congress issued the famous Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776. In the next year itself, they declared their independence on July 4th. The declaration was prepared by two persons, Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin. Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin prepared the Declaration of Independence. And we can discuss what all can we find from the declaration. Here gives the declaration, and from the declaration we can find out the four things. They are: all are equal, everyone has certain rights, rights should be secured government with the consent of governed, right of the people to abolish a government. These are the four aspects included in the Declaration of Independence. And the war between England and the colonies in North America that began in the Declaration of Freedom ended in the year 1781. And according to the Treaty of Paris in 1783, England declared the freedom of 13 colonies. They already prepared a Declaration of Independence on 1776, and after the end of the war with the England, they declared in 1783, they declared the freedom of all the 13 colonies. According to which treaty? According to the Treaty of Paris. And the Treaty of Paris, it was signed in the year 1783. And at last, a Constitution Convention was held at Philadelphia under the leadership of James Madison. He framed the American Constitution. James Madison, he framed the American Constitution. We know that American Constitution was the first written constitution ever in the world. George Washington became the first president of the United States of America, and he formed in accordance with the new constitution. That country became a democratic country, and George Washington became the first president of United States of America. Okay, now it's time to discuss about the influence of American War of Independence in later history. First point was, it gave direction and motivation to the later freedom struggles and revolutions all over the world. And it guided human rights activities. It put forward the concept of republican form of government and prepared the first written constitution. Contributed to the concept of federal system that ensured freedom and authority of states in the Union. These were the major 5 points under this. That means this American War of Independence influenced the other countries a lot. And this much is about the American War of Independence. And this American War of Independence was the first revolution given here in this first chapter. And the next revolution is French Revolution. Here gives a picture. That picture is the picture of the Palace of Versailles. That means the palace of the rulers of France. And this man, Louis XIV, this Louis XIV was a ruler in France, And he had of the opinion that I am the state. That means he was an autocrat. God has given absolute power to the king over his subjects, and only God has the authority to question him. That means the rulers of France believed that they were given this right or given the power to rule over the country by the God. So they were responsible only to the God, not to the subjects. And no one has the right to criticize or question that person, that king. Then Louis XV, he was the next ruler, and he believed that after me, the deluge, that means he was also an autocrat. And the next ruler was Louis XVI, and Mary Antoinette was the wife of Louis XVI. Mary Antoinette said that if they can't eat bread, let them eat cake. She ridiculed the common people. And now we can discuss about the system of rule existed in France. We already discussed that Louis XIV, Louis XV and Louis XVI, all these rulers were autocrats. So there prevailed an autocratic rule. And the rulers were squanders. That means they spent the amount from the treasury to their own extravagant life. They led a luxurious life. That was the meaning. And the next one is rulers believed in the divinity of rule. What is the meaning? We already discussed that the rulers believed that they were the representatives of God on earth. They were selected by the God. That was the meaning. The next point is people led a miserable life. We already discussed that rulers were squanders. They led a luxurious life. They spent royal treasury for their own life. The people, they lived in a poor condition. They led a miserable life. Then, another important aspect is given here. In France, 9/10 of the population died of hunger and 1/10 of indigestion. What does this line indicate? That means 9/10 of population died of hunger. 9/10 of population, that means the common people. Majority of the people, that means they were common man. They were died of hunger because they led a miserable life. They were in poverty. And 1/10 of population died of indigestion. That means 1/10 part, they were aristocrats and rulers. That means that wealthy class. They were a minority in the society, but they led a luxurious life and they died because of indigestion. Here it means that majority of France lived in misery and a minority, including the rulers, led a life of luxury and extravagance. This was the situation prevailed in France. And during that period, French society was divided into 3 estates. First estate, second estate and third estate. First estate comprised of clergy. They were churchmen. They held vast land. They collected a tax called tithe from the farmers. but they were exempted from all taxes. They controlled a higher position in administrative and military service. The second class was, or the second estate was nobility. They engaged in military service. Most of the higher ranks in the military or army were held by the nobility. And they collected various taxes from the farmers. So they were also wealthy. They made farmers work without wages. They were also exempted from all taxes and led a luxurious life and held vast lands. First two estates were wealthy class. That means clergy and nobility were wealthy class. They were exempted from all the taxes. But what about the third estate? Third estate comprised of the middle class troop. That means the traders, writers, lawyers, officials, teachers, bankers, farmers and craftsmen. But what was their condition? They had no role in the administration. They paid land tax, namely taille, to the government. They had very low social status and they had to pay very high taxes to, huge taxes to clergy and nobles. Here we can see first estate and second estate had more powers, and third estate, they were common men but had no role in the administration. But that third estate included the intelligent class, lawyers, teachers, etc., etc. They were intelligent class. They studied well, but they had no role in the administration. Then here gives a picture or a cartoon. What does this cartoon indicate? Here in this picture, from this picture we can identify the condition of the French society during the period. First two estates, clergy and nobility, they held over the third estate, common man. This common man had to bear all the taxes for the first two estates. This cartoon gives all the details about the French society. Like American War of Independence, French Revolution was also influenced by certain thinkers. Mainly, there are three thinkers. They are Voltaire, Rousseau and Montesquieu. Now, we can discuss about Voltaire. What were the philosophies or ideologies of Voltaire? He ridiculed the exploitation of the clergy. At that time, people were afraid of clergy and they were not ready to criticize clergy because they had no because they had more power. But Voltaire, he was ready to ridicule the exploitation of the clergy. And he promoted rational thinking, ideals of equality and humanism. Humanism means it is an aspect gives more importance to human beings, not to religion. And the next person is Rousseau. And he spelled out the importance of freedom with the statement, man is born free, but everywhere he is in chains. And he declared that the people are the sovereign. What do you mean by sovereign? What is sovereignty? Sovereignty is the absolute power. Here, he declared that people should have the absolute sovereignty. That means rule of the people. And the next person is Montesquieu. Montesquieu encouraged democracy and republic. Same meaning is here. Democracy means rule of the people. Republic means the head of a nation should be an elected person. And he suggested the division of powers of the government into three: legislature, executive and judiciary. During that period, in French administration, there were only one power, that was the king. He was the legislature, he was the executive and he was the judiciary. But Montesquieu suggested the division of powers into three organs. And there were two types of philosophers, physiocrats and philosophers. Physiocrats were economists, freedom of everyone to own property, and they promoted middle class. Who were philosophers? They were thinkers, scientists and writers. That means they were intelligent class, and they gave importance to reasoning and scientific thought. At the same time, they compiled an encyclopedia. And at that time, because of the bankruptcy happened because of the luxurious life of the Bourbon kings, clergy and landlords. They were rich people, but they led a luxurious life. Because of their luxurious life, French treasury became in a bankruptcy. Because of this bankruptcy, the rulers wanted to levy new taxes upon the people. And the right to levy taxes was given only to the parliament. So, Louis XVI compelled to summon the parliament. This summoning of this parliament, that is the States General, this happened in the year 1789. And there arose a dispute in voting. That means traditionally each estate would vote as a group and had only one vote. As a result, the nobility and clergy could always overrule the third estate. That during that period, each estate had only one single vote, and definitely as a result of this voting system, the nobility and the clergy could always overrule the third estate. So the first two estates argued for a state-wise single voting system, while the third estate demanded individual vote for each member of all the three estates. Because in the States General, their number is more than first two estates. If there is an individual vote for each member of all the three estates, definitely the third estate could easily outnumber the first two estates. And when this argument based on the voting system went on, the members of the third estate declared themselves as the National Assembly of France. And after that, they assembled in a tennis court nearby the parliament. And there in that tennis court, they swore not to leave until they had framed a constitution for France. They wanted to frame a constitution for France, and until they framed a constitution of France, they swore not to leave from that place. And the next one is the most important incident happened during the period. And this incident was known as the beginning, or considered as the beginning of the French Revolution. That is the demolition of the Bastille prison. Bastille prison, it was a jail where all the people who criticized the king or clergy or nobility were imprisoned. And the people, common people, demolished this Bastille prison, and this incident was considered as the commencement of the, or beginning of the French Revolution. This incident happened on 14th July 1789. And 12th August 1789, the National Assembly passed a declaration of the rights of man and of the citizen. And in October 1789, thousands of women marched from Paris to the Palace of Versailles with the slogan, "Give us bread." And in September 1792, the National Convention, formed as per the new constitution, proclaimed France as a republic.
Students, now it's time to wind up the class. Today we discussed about the various causes and causes of the revolt of French revolt, and at last we discussed about the influence of the French Revolution in the other revolutions happened in the world. So it's time to wind up the class. We can discuss the other revolutions in the next class. Thank you.